Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So a pretty big move down on Friday, and you can see we were bouncing around, bit of a pin bar that formed, and then we've got this red bar that closed down. So are we continuing down? Was this just a test of the highs? And it was a very untidy test of this previous resistance. You can see we broke through, so that's still in play. And then we are all the way back down in this area here. Now, a couple of things that you just need to bear in mind with this pair. There's a lot of confusion in the US markets at the moment. We are in between the 50 and 61.8% retracement, that's Fibonacci retracement, and we have a separation of the oscillators here. And whenever we get a big separation of the oscillators on the higher time frame, you often have an explosive move when they cross over. So flip over, crossover, point to the upside, and moving up. Now I don't see. Just want to get to the left here quickly before we get down to the hour. Bear with me a second. Okay, so there is the weekly structure that we are retesting. So you can see that was used as support before, this zone, and it has been used as resistance before, back in 2000. So we're going back quite far. So 2000 and 2002 was when it was used as support and resistance on the weekly. So if you put that into context, there is a zone there. We've broken up above it. We've rejected this top area. We've come back. We're coming back to test this area. So let's just get rid of the noise. Those are the critical levels you do need to pay attention to this week, and that's 097, 054, and then all the way down to 095, 963. That was the last bit of weekly support and resistance, but going back a good 22 years or 20 years. So with all of that in mind, look at the diversions on the hour here. We're gradually moving down. There was a big up and down on Friday. Nobody really willing to commit. So I'd be very careful here. I'd still be looking to buy off this area at 097054, anticipating a bounce, probably just a scalp, just looking at the oscillators and everything. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for. And you can have a stop of around 300 points. Actually, 300 points should be fine. You're just coming below this bit of structure here, and you're looking for a move back up. And I would assume it's going to range because we do have the FOMC minutes coming out on Wednesday. So there is a bit of structure there, but probably something along those lines. You're looking for a move back to 097551. Moving to US dollar, Japanese yen. For all intents and purposes, we're still sideways, and you can see how we're just gliding sideways. We had a big separation of the oscillators here, but that does look like it's starting to fail if you look at the turnover here. So with that in mind, if this thing starts rejecting this area, pulling down, that's going to basically the long play that I have here on Euro USD, which is against trend, just bear that in mind, is probably going to play out. So for this, I want to see a retest down here, and that is at 145.164 before I start looking for longs. Just remember, FOMC minutes coming out Wednesday, so expect the dollar to be range bound until Wednesday. Moving on to the pound, British pound, Japanese yen. Trend is down at the moment. We are looking at a break. Sorry, we're on the hour. Let's just get to the 8 hour. So we are looking at a break of this area here. So I want to see us get through this before even looking at this. But look at the oscillators here on the 8 hour. Starting to separate. Moving average is not giving us any indication. So for me, this is probably going to be swinging in this range again. You can see how it happened a couple of weeks ago. So I suspect we're going to have the same sort of price action today. Nothing really on Friday. Confirmation of the downtrend. We're below the 155 EMA. And that does line up with a little bit of potential resistance to the left here. You see this 161.834. So worthwhile selling off that, but then you're moving to 160.800 or 808, and I'd get out of it then. Now I suspect we're going to be stuck between either the upper end of this or the mid range. You can see that's kind of in the middle of that range that we looked at previously. So I suspect the same thing is what we're going to get. There is a lot of UK data coming out this week, so probably going to see some catalyst of driving this in a direction, either up or down. Moving on to the Euro British Pound, and sorry, also on the hour there. If we look at it on the 8th hour, look at the oscillator, sorry. We have separated, we're starting to cross over. What does this look like to you? Well, to me it looks like a flag. So I suspect we are going to continue for the downside. So it all depends what noise is coming out, I suppose. That's my line in the sand at the moment, and we'll just fine tune that on the lower time frames. But strong move down, flag. I suspect we're going to get another leg down. The UK economy is in a little bit of trouble, and the banks are, well, the central banks and the governments are trying to prop it up, but I don't know if they're going to be successful. So at the moment we are above the moving averages. So if we do find support here at 0.87600, then expect another leg up. But if we do start breaking below this area, and I'd expect us to fall, and you can actually just do this. There we go. Let's just get this right. So you can see there's the previous swing low. We broke below it, broke above it, didn't really respect that zone. So a break and retest of 0.87659 or alternatively 0.87600. I don't want to see price get below that, come back and retest it. That would validate this flag for me and for a continuation to the downside. And that you need to pick up on. Let's just be conservative and take it from there. So pick it up on the 8th hour, and you can see there is my move, and you'll probably find some structure to the left, and there is pretty solid area of structure there. So that would be the support that you'd be looking to pick up, and that is 0.84949. So it's a pretty big move on offer here, but you're going to need to pay attention to this and watch it on the hour, every hour, just to pick up the price action when you break below this zone. Anyway, that's kind of my view today. I'm a bit reluctant on the dollar, but there is a bit of a scalp trade on Euro USD, and I suspect the dollar is going to be a little bit weaker going into the FOMC minutes on Wednesday as we wait to see what happens. Well, if there's any more noise coming out of that. Until then, I suppose we're going to be very cautious. Anyway, that's kind of my view today. Hope it helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.